As the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, I'm sure that Alabama would love to just focus on basketball, but unfortunately they can't do that because there is something very big hanging over their heads, and that is Brandon Miller, who's still involved in the murder investigation of a young girl in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And there's already been one Alabama player who's been arrested for murder, who's facing charges for that. But of course, we found out a month after the fact, after Alabama already knew these things, that Brandon Miller was the one who brought the murder weapon to the scene of the crime. And now we have new reports coming out that state it wasn't just Brandon Miller and 2 other players. There was a fourth Alabama player that was there at the scene of the crime. Now, of course, Alabama's denying that. They say no comment, blah, blah, blah. Alabama's been lying from the beginning about all of this. And of course, Brandon Miller, one of the best players in the country, a likely lottery pick, at least until all of this went down. As the one who brought the murder weapon to the scene of the crime, he faced no punishment from Alabama or from the NCAA. And now Alabama looks like they're trying to make you feel like he's the victim in all of this. Alabama coach Nate Oates, Brandon Miller needs armed security after disturbing messages. Now, security is no new thing for NCAA players, for college players, whether it's on the road, at home, whatever. There's always security people out there. However, it was really difficult for people to not notice this guy right here. This big security dude with a badge and a gun open carried, following Brandon Miller around everywhere. As opposed to, there's tons of security guards that usually have concealed weapons that follow these guys. That's a normal thing. There's still a lot of that security around. But this guy specifically is like a show of force for Brandon Miller. And then head coach Nate Oates gets up there and actually tries to make you feel bad for Brandon Miller in this entire situation. Feel bad for the guy who brought the murder weapon to the scene of the crime. Oates was asked about the protection during Wednesday's presser and explained he and the university felt it was appropriate following the disturbing messages Miller received. It's nothing a college kid should have to go through. I think if you were able to see what I've seen, you'd understand why that's going on right now. Some of the message from people that can sit behind fake email addresses, but who knows whether they're real or not. Seeing that nobody ever would want for their son, I treat my players like my own sons. I put myself in his parents' shoes. I don't want to get into that. The entire situation, as you know, it's a heartbreaking situation on all accounts. Yeah, you know who it's really heartbreaking for? The young girl and her family. The girl who died because Brandon Miller brought a murder weapon to the scene of the crime. And the family who's now going on without that person in their lives. And in reality, what Alabama needs to do is just shut the fuck up about it. Is just stop talking about this, no comment, instead of trying to make people feel bad for Brandon Miller. Instead of trying to, actively get this kind of show of force out there to make it look different from the rest of the security, specifically to follow on Brandon Miller, not to actually protect him, but so you can then talk about how we have to protect him because of all these threats. You got enough problems. You got enough people coming to you showing that Alabama has lied once again about the number of Alabama students at the scene of the murder and yet go completely unpunished by the NCAA or Alabama. You should probably just focus on basketball and not talk about anything else. But it looks like Alabama and head coach Nate Oates really want to make you think that Brandon Miller is the victim here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.